Guys, hello. So Britain has been put into another fuck down. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. Fuck lockdown. It's a fuck down. That's what it is. It's a bloody load of fucking nonsense. But it just got me thinking about why people fucking acquiesce with it. Now, and that got me thinking, we have Mercury conjunct Pluto today, and it's all about digging into the heart of it all and understanding something pivotal and crucial to why we allow ourselves to be abused and manipulated and gaslit and mind control, because make no mistake people, there is always an element of acquiescence, albeit it exists through the mind control and the MK Ultra-esque manipulation, yeah, but it's there. It's something that came to me today. I was thinking about my childhood and I was thinking about my mother, and all of a sudden it became to me very clear that it wasn't even as such my mother that abused me. It was that darkness within her. It is the hell contagion, and it's the fact that it's like possession. It's a possession. That's really what it is. And what happened to me as a child, and believe me when I say that, in a way I'm grateful for that now, because it's enabled me to see this world. It's enabled me to see the truth. It was this. I was given in no uncertain terms, I was given to understand as a child by my mother that I was not allowed to be. That what I wanted was irrelevant and was not allowed to be. That what I needed was irrelevant and not allowed to be. That my emotions were irrelevant and were not allowed to be expressed, were not allowed to be. That my creativity and my creative needs and expressions were irrelevant and rubbish and not allowed to be. That my desires were bad and irrelevant and were not allowed to be. And that also I was not allowed to have any kind of boundaries, because I was a child and I was worthless and I was not allowed to be, and I was irrelevant and I wasn't allowed to have any boundaries. That in essence I was a house, and it was imperative, on the threat of extreme violence, fear, that I left the door to the house, that is me, my psyche, wide open at all times, so that my mother, or rather the dark entity within her, could enter at will and wreak total havoc in my psyche in any imaginable way that he damn well pleased. And there were a wide variety of really cruel, nasty, horrible tactics that my mother used to, or rather the dark entity inside my mother used to try and utterly annihilate me. And so for many years I had no sense of self at all. I didn't know who I was. I was unable to reason. I was unable to feel. I was unable to function. I was unable to make the correct correlations as to, this is not good, I don't like this. This is good, I like that. This person is not a good person, is this obvious? Or this person is a good person and this is obvious. Nothing. I lived in a smoke and mirrors type of environment. It's PTSD. It's PTSD. And I understand now that this process is what the so-called system does to people every day. The powers that be, the government, the councils, the mainstream media, the corporations, our I am presence has to be utterly annihilated. If they could completely dissolve and erase it, they would, and they can't do it, because we are soul travelers and it just cannot be done. And I think they hate us for that. They cannot destroy us, they cannot annihilate us. But the attack from the get-go is on our I am presence, you see? The more they can eviscerate that and rip us apart, the less we're able to understand anything at all, and they can totally and utterly manipulate us. And so many people cannot recognize a narcissist at all. They don't know how to resolve their trauma, they don't even know where to begin. They end up going to a therapist or a counselor or whatever, who could very well be a narcissist as well. This is a giant fucking clusterfuck of epic proportions. And I think that is why, more than ever, it is important that we go within, because you know what, no matter who, what, where, when, what, the only truth that we can ever trust is that which lives within us, regardless of all the abuse, regardless of, the confusion and the chaos and the PTSD, chronic trauma that we exist in. Because I know I did that. Because despite all of that, my true self, my I am presence, somehow gradually spoke to me always and got me out of this. It knew where I was meant to go. It knew who I was meant to go to. It knew what I was meant to hear. It knew what I was meant to speak. It knew what I was meant to see. Some of it was very painful, but in seeing it, feeling it, experiencing it, it became a healing journey, right? A healing covenant. One way or another, despite the most horrific violation done to us at a core level, where we literally are expected to go through life with the doors and the windows to our psyche, our house wide open, because we need to let the demons in. We have to let them in, because if we don't let them in, it's going to fucking destroy us. Do you see what I mean? That is why it hates us having boundaries. This world, this fake fucking world, is a narcissist world, and it does not want us to have any boundaries whatsoever. And it even gets into our psyche where it manipulates us. If you're an empath, or if you have psychic abilities, wow, it can use that against you. Images, visions, dreams. In the dream world, some people call that, the astral landscape. This is multi-layered, this is energetic, this is big. And yet, when you begin your awakening journey, all of that is turned on its head. All of that, which one would consider as being ultimately dangerous and dare to harm you, is now used in the healing covenant to show you the way out. So the inversion is in fact already turning around. That is already going like that again, because that is, and I've been feeling this all along. I've been feeling this, that now when something negative happened, or I have yet made another mistake and allowed a narc in, or have been mistaken about something, or have let myself down in some way. You know, we all make these mistakes, and it's like, I'm never going to be all right. But you know what? No, it doesn't work like that anymore, because now it's a healing covenant. Now it shows you gradually the way out of the inversion. So that is what the reset is. See, because they were never able to annihilate our true self, our I am presence, the true consciousness. And it is rising. The magic is within us, because the magic takes this putrid evil now and uses it to heal us. It's like homotoxicology. It's incredible. I don't know how to elaborate on it or put it into words any more than this, really. For some of you may not quite understand what I'm talking about, but you will. You will. Just pay attention. Every time you think you've gotten it wrong again, every time you think you are taken in again, every time you get taken in by the whole kind of dark side again within you, the dark generator, the hell contagion, your own self-sabotage, your own self-hatey bullshit, and you believe it, and you're like, it's all shit, I hate myself, I'm never going to get anywhere. Right? Within, without, it's all the same thing, guys, you know? And you think, oh, I'm never going to get out, it's all shit, I'm all ooh. But now, instead of it just sitting there, not moving, having you by the throat and feeding off you, and your traumatized self just being there going, oh, it's all true and I'm fucked, and never ever not moving, and stagnancy and murk and darkness and pain and torture. Now it's not like that anymore. Now it's a purge. Now it's an alchemical process. Now it's transmutation, the neutralization. Now you come out of it again and realize that that was a nebulous fucking lie, but somehow, yeah, another layer has been healed, and wow, now I understand. And so these insights come. Your vision is clearer, your true self has landed even more potently within you, you're more aware of it, you are able to see more, understand more. Yeah, you will go into it again, into another layer. And it's like, well, haven't I been here before? And yes, you have, but it's deeper this time. Because for me, today, it was deeper. Intrinsic understanding. Intrinsic understanding of, yeah, I get it now. That's why they do it. Don't forget, guys, it's all about the mind virus. It is the mind virus, right? Of course, where would it attack us but in our mind, in our consciousness, in our heart, in our emotions. It was that other sort of, I was watching a film the other day. It was all about a dog that gets lost and is trying to get back home, and it was a really nice little film, but even there, you can see the dark manipulative shenanigans going on, because one of the programs there was that those you love with all your being will die and will be lost to you forever. And I felt that very acutely, and it was like, and my heart just broke into a million pieces again. And again I thought, I'm never going to get anywhere, this wounding is so severe, we can never heal from this, we can never ever know, we're doomed, but it became a healing covenant. I had to feel that, I had to face that, because it's a program. Loss. The loss of those we love with all our being. Right? Some of us have sustained terrible losses. All of us have, one way or another, but And it's this program that says, well, you'll never see them again. You're forever apart now. They're gone. And it's not true, it isn't true, I know this. But the grief, the pain that engenders the loss program. How evil and how sadistic is that? Wow. So much has been done to rip us apart and to destroy our true self, our I am. Because that is the only way that they can get us to accept just anything. And of course, the mundane reality enforcement officers are there, showing us every day what that is, what that looks like. Because they are empty. They don't have an I am presence. And look what's going on there, right? Wow. So that's really all I wanted to say today, is to say that, you know, guys, be aware of that. Be aware that no matter how wounded you are and how chaotic and clusterfuck-ish you feel right now, and how doomed you might feel and terrified you might feel, and the dark generator is in there and your trauma self is in there, and you might slip into the dark and you'll come out of it again, but this is a process and it is a healing covenant. I really fucking feel that. Because we're moving up. We are expanding. The true consciousness is rising and more, rising and rising and rising, like a fucking massive cake, right? So we won't give up. And we won't lose. I know this now. But it often feels that way. This is why it's doing what it's doing. And this is why so many of us had narcissistic parents. Because they were possessed by this hell contagion. But it's a massive impetus, people, because it is because of that childhood, that we know exactly what we're dealing with here. You see? So we were never victims, no. We were initiates. That is what we were. And now we're getting to grips with it. Right? Mojo rising, people.